Harper, in the field of psychology, it's known as Maslow's hammer. I suppose it is tempting, psychologist Abraham Maslow once wrote, if the only tool you have is a hammer, to treat everything as if it were a nail. Today, as we wait for a ruling on the White House executive order on immigration and travel that could come tomorrow, President Trump is hammering away at the judiciary, accusing federal judges on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals of playing politics if they rule against him. A, quote, bad high school student would know to decide in his favor, the president said today. And he warned the horrible, dangerous, and wrong decision to pause his ban could prevent the U.S. from ever having the safety and security to which, he said, we are all entitled. We are all entitled. Pretty tough stuff. CNN senior White House correspondent Jeff Zeleny joins me now. And Jeff, for the sake of discussion, let's forget for a second whether the president is right in his description of the judges. Forget about the merits of his case. The Trump administration's own lawyers must be hating that he is personally attacking the intelligence and integrity of the judges who are in the middle of deciding how to issue a ruling on his travel ban.
I mean, Jake, privately, the lawyers here at the White House and at the Justice Department, I'm told, are cringing at those blistering words. Now, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer today, when asked about the word disgraceful and whether it was appropriate or not to use that, he didn't answer that question. But I can tell you, the White House on edge tonight as it waits for that ruling that now will come as early as tomorrow.
I've learned a lot in the last 2 weeks. And terrorism is a far greater threat than the people of our country understand. But we're going to take care of it. We're going to win.
Stark words today from President Trump, raising the specter of terror threats as he takes legal challenges to his travel ban into the court of public opinion.
I listened to a bunch of stuff last night on television that was disgraceful. It was disgraceful.
At a meeting of police chiefs and sheriffs from across the country, the president lashing out against the judicial branch and a 3-judge panel, considering challenges to his immigration order.
I don't ever want to call a court biased, so I won't call it biased. And we haven't had a decision yet. But courts seem to be so political.
The president clearly souring at his first taste of checks and balances in the U.S. government, after judges from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals raised sharp questions Tuesday night over the order restricting travel from 7 predominantly Muslim countries.
Could the president simply say in the order, we're not going to let any Muslims in?
Defending his action as a way to protect the nation's security, the president belittled the judges.
A bad high school student would understand this. Anybody would understand this. Suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non-immigrants.
For nearly 2 weeks, the executive order on immigration has consumed Trump's new presidency. Yet for the first time, he said today he actually wanted to wait before signing it, but was warned against it.
So I wanted to give like a month. Then I said, well, what about a week? They said, well, then you're going to have a whole pile of people, perhaps, with very evil intentions coming in before the restrictions.
Yet that's at odds with what he said on Twitter after signing the order. If the ban were announced with a 1-week notice, the bad would rush into our country during that week. A lot of bad dudes out there. Meantime, the president made clear he's still keeping an eye on his family's businesses, blasting the Nordstrom department store for dropping Ivanka Trump's clothing line. My daughter Ivanka has been treated so unfairly by Nordstrom, he tweeted. She is a great person, always pushing me to do the right thing. Terrible. But the president definitely had that hearing on his mind throughout the day, sending out several messages, including this one right here. Let's take a look at this. He said there's a big increase in traffic in our country from certain areas, while our people are more vulnerable as we wait for what should be an easy decision there, of course, he's talking about. Now, we asked the White House what areas he was talking about, Jake, and so far, no answer from them yet.
I thought he was talking about the rap star Easy D. I'm glad he wasn't. Makes more sense your way. Jeff Zeleny, thanks so much.